Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. I believe that some of the panelists are busy, so I think I'm good to start. So, how are you? How are you all doing? Please tell me in the chat if you have any questions, if you need any help in anything. This session is going to be quick, so I'm able to help you with any um, workflows or anything at the end of this session. Hi, Alex. Hi. Okay, so let's just start. And if you have any questions, I will be able to answer it at the end of this session. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so in the previous sessions, we focused on designing a single AI agent that is capable of reasoning and planning and executing tasks. And we enhanced that agent with different capabilities such as tools or usage or memory, etc. And even mechanisms for human intervention, the human in the loop. However, most real world problems are rarely solved by one individual agent. So, complex challenges usually require teams of specialists who collaborate and share responsibilities, right? So, this reflects on AI agents as well. So, this idea it leads to what is known as multi-agent system or multi-agent systems, which is short for MAS. So what is multi-agent system? So instead of relying on one agent to handle everything, we design multiple agents where each one focuses on a specific role or skill set. So these agents communicate and coordinate together to solve a problem or a mixed number of problems. So this concept closely resembles how human teams operate, and each member of these teams has a clear role and contributes to their expertise to achieve a shared objective. So here in this lecture, the concept. Okay. Hi, Jaya.
Hi, Myra.
Hi. So I started. Is that right?
Yes, it's recording.
Okay. Great. Okay. So where were we? So yeah, we were saying that each team in any each member in any team they have a clear role and they contribute based on their expertise, right? So here in this lecture, we will introduce the concept of multi-agent systems. We will discuss why multiple agents are needed and the main challenge or the main challenges when designing such systems, what they are, how to handle them, etc. And also the different communication and coordination approaches that we will use. And we will also look at common organizational structures such as the manager worker model and also specialized agent teams. So let's start talking about the multi-agent systems. So why multi-agent systems? So transitioning from a single agent to a multi-agent architecture is often not just a design choice. It becomes necessary when dealing with complex tasks, and we need complex structure or much rather than a simple one AI agent. So what could the advantages be of a multi-agent system? So handling complex problems like for example, large tasks can be broken into smaller subtasks that different agents handle either in a parallel way or a sequential way, right? So when this happens, this reduces the complexity that each individual agent must deal with. So instead of having like 1,000 lines of one prompt, we divide it into two prompts or more than two prompts. So one agent can handle exactly one task in this specific prompt. Also, it becomes specialized and efficient. So instead of building one agent with a massive set of tools, also we can create specialized agents that each one focuses on a specified domain. Also, we have the robustness and flexibility. If one agent fails or becomes unavailable for any reason, other agents can continue working or take over the task. So it helps the system to evolve easily by adding or removing any number of agents we want. Also, for the scalability, so when workload increases, we can scale the system by adding more agents instead of making one agent increasingly complex by adding tools or increasing the prompt lines. Also, the continuous improvement. Agents can learn um, from interactions with each other and also from the environment, allowing the overall system performance to improve over time. Also, we have the modeling collaborative behavior. So multi agent systems are also useful for simulating social interactions and collaborative behavior, which is actually useful in areas like game designs and social simulations. Okay, so what could the challenges be of using a multi-agent system? So despite the advantages, designing one can have several challenges. For example, the communication and coordination. So agents must communicate clearly and ensure that their actions contribute towards a shared goal. So the description for each one should be clear and not complex, so that each agent could know what their a specific goal is in order to reach the bigger goal that is shared with the other agents. Also, we have the task distributions. So the system must okay, just 1 second, please. Okay. So we were talking about task distribution, right? So we said that the system of these agents must determine how tasks are assigned and which agent should perform any task. Also, we have the conflict resolution. So agents might produce different solutions or pursue competing goals. So the system must handle such conflicts, right? In order to reduce any mistakes or any errors that could happen. Okay, and also we have the collective learning. So designing a mechanism that allow the whole system to benefit from the experience of individual agents, it could be difficult. So the collective learning overall, it should be much more difficult. Also, we have the monitoring and control. Managing many agents requires tools to monitor their behavior and ensure they operate safely. Also, we have the complexity, the system complexity. Multi-agent systems are generally more difficult to design or test or debug compared to a single AI or agent system. But it all happens that it is better than using one very complex AI agent. So let's talk about the communication patterns of the AI agents. So communication, as we said, is very critical element in any multi-agent system. So different patterns can be used depending on how agents exchange information and what is the preferred goal. It all depends on the goal that we want to reach. So we have first the direct communication. Let's talk about direct communication. So This occurs when agents send messages directly to each other. This can be implemented using technologies such as HTTP requests or WebSockets or message queues, um, or inter-process communication libraries, etc. So this approach is usually fast. It is efficient, but it requires agents to know exactly who they are communicating with, which can make large systems harder to manage. So these could be the pros and cons of a direct communication system. So shared environment or a mediator. So examples include sharing data stores, for example, or blackboards or message brokers, where agents publish and consume information without directly addressing each other. So it all depends on the data. So this approach is flexible, or more flexible, and it is also scalable. Although it may introduce additional overhead due to the intermediary layer, but overall it could be better than the direct communication part. Examples of brokers or queues, maybe RabbitMQ or Kafka. These agents. They help publishing the messages and receiving the messages. Also, we have the agent communication language, the ACL. So to ensure agents interpret messages correctly, standardized message structure are often used. So an agent communication language defines how messages are formatted and what they mean exactly. So example here, we could say that standards like FIBA, ACL, or more commonly structured formats like JSONs or YAML or YAML. So these structures, the typical message that a typical message in this format, it includes a sender and a receiver, also the intent or the performative, and also the content. So who would be the sender here? It would be the agent sending a message. The receiver is the intended recipient. The intent is the purpose of the message, like a request or information, etc. And the content is the data. Also, the context are any additional details or meta data or meta information in this message. So thirdly, we have the interaction protocols. So interaction protocols actually define how agents exchange messages in structured scenarios. So like for example, we have request response. So one agent asks for a service and another agent returns a response. Also, we have auction protocol. Multiple agents compete to perform a task or obtain a specific resource. Also, we have the negotiation protocol. So agents here communicate iteratively to reach a manually acceptable decision. So we have multiple approaches for the interaction protocol. Okay, so let's talk about the team structures. So agents in a multi-agent system can be organized in several ways to enable efficient collaboration. So the first one is a centralized structure. So in a centralized one, a single manager agent coordinates the system to manage the received tasks. Then it breaks them into smaller parts, and finally it assigns these tasks to worker agents, and overall monitor the progress and the whole process. So this structure, it simplifies the control and design, but it introduces a potential single point of failure. So we might have to go for a decentralized structure where there is no central controller. Agents communicate directly or through a shared resources and make decisions independently based on predefined rules or a specific query, etc. So this design it improves the scalability over the centralized structure and the robustness for of course, but it can be more difficult to manage and debug. Also, we could talk about common team structure patterns. So one is manager worker pattern. So what is this? So in this structure, a manager agent it receives a specific request. It decomposes it into smaller tasks and assigns those tasks into specialized worker agents, and finally combines their results into a final output. Um, for the specialized agent patterns, each agent here focuses on a specific capability and collaborates with others when needed. So, for instance, one agent might specialize in web research, another in a data analysis, and another in a generating written reports. And a third pattern is the Blackboard architecture. Here, agents share information through a common workspace. It is called a Blackboard. So agents here monitor the board and contribute information when their expertise is relevant. So this approach is actually useful in domains where multiple partial solutions must be combined to a bigger or a single solution, like medical diagnosis system, etc. Okay, so let's talk about how to use multi-agent systems with N8N. So N8N is particularly useful, as you have seen in the previous sessions. It's useful for orchestrating the workflow or integrating APIs, which actually makes a strong platform for coordinating multiple agents. So let's talk about N8N as a command center or a coordination layer. So one way to use N8N is as a central coordinator for multiple agents, right? Where a workflow in N8N receives a complex task through a webhook or an API request, then the workflow can split the task into smaller parts using logic nodes or other nodes like code nodes or split in batches. Then each subtask can then be sent to different agents. For example, the workflow may call external Python agents, for example, through an HTTP request, or maybe trigger another N8N workflow where each workflow acts as a specialized agent. So once the agent finish their task, or the whole agents finish their task, the workflow collects their responses and merges them into a final result. So um, how about using N8N as a communication channel? So we know that N8N also acts as a mediator between agents, right? So an agent might send a message to an N8N webhook. The workflow then forwards that message to another agent or system through another webhook or API call, etc. So this creates a flexible communication layer where agents do not need to know each other directly. And another approach is using an N8N to maintain a shared data source. So agents can write intermediate results to a shared location, such as a database or spreadsheet, while other agents monitor and react to specific updates. So let's have a small or short example for a multi-agent scenario. So one possible scenario is like a research or analysis system. So a manager agent here receives a complex question and then forwards it to a research agent that gathers information from the web. The collected data then is passed to an analysis agent that processes the results and extracts insights. And finally, another agent generates a structured answer based on the analysis. Also, we have a multi-department customer support system. So a manager agent receives an income customer request and then determines the request type or intent. So is it a sales related question or a complaint? Then if it is a sales related question, they are routed to a sales agent. While if it's a complaint or a technical one, it goes for that specific agent. Okay. Okay, so before concluding this session, I will go through a simple, really, really simple multi-agent workflow. So here we have this workflow. We set a specific topic. It's really close to the research example that we just talked about, but instead it is the blog writer or blog creator workflow. So we want to create a specific blog, but we want to make the human interaction as least as possible over here. So if we start the workflow, let's start the workflow. Okay, we've got an error, I believe. Yeah. So over here, I forgot to add. Okay, so let's say that we want to talk about the AI, the AI, let's say, takeover in 2026, 26, right? So if we execute this step, we get an output. Oh, yeah, right. So top. Okay, I think we might be having a problem. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so there is the output of the previous node. So here, the user message is AI took over in 2026. So this is the user message over here. And for the system message, I told this agent that you are a research agent. Your only job is to research that given topic and return exactly 5 clear bullet points with key facts and insights. Be concise, factual, and structured. Do not write anything other than the bullet points. So here we want the first agent to be a researcher. We just want to get the facts. We don't want to write anything. We don't want it to be creative. We just want the information. So if we execute this step, and over here we have a slight mistake. So the output is predictions and concerns. Various tech leaders and researchers have expressed concerns. So it gave me a specific or like a short description of how AI takeover would be in 2026. So if I go here to this model, I could search for a specific model is called, no, not research, web search. So, okay, the problem is the search is a bit tricky when searching here. So if we search, we could see a web search model specifically for web searching. So I believe this one, it's this one. Just making sure. Okay, so we have a more specific model to search with. But this could cost me a lot, so I don't think I want to use it right now. Because GPT-4 Mini is like it's really economical because it doesn't use lots of tokens. So let's keep it like this. So after generating the output of the first agent, we give we give this output as an input. So I told it, here are the research findings. Using only this research, write a 3 paragraph blog post and make it engaging and easy to read. So this is the system prompt. The user prompt. The system prompt is you are a writer agent. Your job is to receive a search bullet points and write a clean, engaging 3 paragraph blog post, etc. So what is going on here? So when you interact with, let's say, a ChatGPT or a DeepSeek model, anything that are in the platform right now. So if you interact with it, you could actually give it these informations. But what we're doing here, we are automating the AI agents to do any boring or repetitive tasks that we handle a lot to be an easy one, and with easy, let's say, dashboard or like a platform, etc., and to be automated. It's automated as well. So if we execute the step, we could see the output loading. Okay, so great. It started writing as we march towards the year 2026, the conversation surrounding artificial AI intelligence, etc. So it wrote me, let's see, I'm not sure how many words are these, but we can specify how many words I want. I specified a 3 paragraph blog, so I could play around the output as much as I want. So I could say that always add a CTA at the bottom of the paragraph to contact, let's say, a specific number. For example, this number. It's not a real number. So I wanted to add this number at the end of any blog that it writes. So if I regenerate over here, okay. So as we can see here, it ended with, let me just, okay. So it's clear that as we navigate this fascinating yet frightening territory, staying informed, etc., etc., if you would like to discuss these topics further, don't hesitate to contact us at this number. So what it said, it understood the objective. So each blog or the main purpose of most of recent blogs are for SEO, right? So people could know more about your own website, about your own services by only searching through the internet, right? So I could also write for this prompt, or over here could be better. So I could write for for this system prompt, so it could fixate on SEO keywords to search for SEO keywords that are provided by Google, and then adds them, whatever is related, of course, adds them to this blog as a title or keywords or in the blog itself. So we could make an automated posting blogs. So and they follow the guidelines of SEO, for example. So it could be free marketing, right? So whenever someone is asking about AI agents in web search, your own blog could be presented to them, and then in this case they could read this blog and then see what you offer. For example, you offer AI agents or you offer an automation, so they could see something that they like and then they purchase and buy from you. So this is one of the marketing approaches that are used with AI agents these days. Okay, so finally we have the editor agent. We could replace this with a human envelope agent, or not agent. We could replace it with a human in the loop where we could send this article or blog to a human preview, and then this person previews it, accept it, and then it is posted. So if we execute this step, so this is an editor agent. We say, please fix any grammar or clarity issues, add a compelling title to the at the top, write a short SEO meta description, etc. So we can have we can polish any post, any blog, etc. using this agent. So as you can see, it added a title, navigating the future of artificial intelligence, challenges and opportunities in 2026, and then started it. And at the end, it should. Okay, so I guess here it removed my own CTA that I told it to. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, it didn't change it. So I could just make sure or give it another point here to make sure that do not change any CTA or important contact as part of this paragraph. Okay, so this is a really simple multi-agent workflow. But what we have here is we use a single model for each one of them. I could simply unplug this from the first researcher agent, and use, let's say, Google Gemini, because Gemini is better at researching since it's for Google and Google has all the data in the world. So I could use Gemini, for example, for for this specific one. And if I'm writing something technical, for example, something that needs an AI model to focus on like technical parts and to not alter anything or say anything wrong. So I could use Claude over here, Claude AI, which is from Anthropic. So Claude AI is better at programming and mathematical issues, for example. So it depends on what am I writing over here. So depending on that, I should have clear insights for what model is better. For example, if I want to generate an image, for example, so OpenAI generate image. So if I want to generate a specific image, for example, and to upload it with the blog, and then upload it to a specific WordPress website that I have, and then I could create a simple post that I posted or blog. I'm sorry, that I posted with an image and a itself that I posted on WordPress. But also I can have a Facebook. So Facebook here, we don't have any Facebook nodes. Oh yeah, no, we have. Okay, so I could just post it through Facebook. I could send it through a message to WhatsApp. I could do anything I want over here. So N8N has like various amounts of nodes that that help me to market my own campaign or start a business out of it. And that's actually what most of people do these days. They use N8N because it's easier, because it's low code or no code platform. So yeah. So as a short, it's really easy to use in 8N, and it's fun, right? So when you write a code or write a prompt, it's fun to see the output, to fix any problems. So if I don't like the title, I want it to be specified in a specific something, I could just write to the system prompt to be as I want it to be. So yeah, I guess we discussed it thoroughly. If you have any questions, please go ahead and write me in the chat. So let's conclude this session. We learned that multi AI agent systems they provide significant advantages, including improved problem solving, specialization, etc. And at the same time, they introduce new design challenges like communication, coordination, etc. So we discussed the different communication patterns to help see the pros and cons of each one of them and the challenges that comes with each one. So and finally we saw how platforms like in 8N, we built an AI agent using in 8N, and how it handle and orchestrate these agents together and help with overall for the overall solution or the output. So in the next session, we might get deeper into the multi AI agent system, since we have a capstone project 2 sessions away, or like 3 sessions away. So for the capstone, we need um, we need to focus a bit on in 8N and how to build AI agents. So yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, if you have any question, please go ahead. I'm just opening the chat right now. Also, we have what's it called? I I forgot the bot that we have here. Oh, the Slido. We have Slido. If you have any questions, you can add it in Slido. Okay. So, any questions, anybody? It's really important to practice, so you easily could build an AI agent for the capstone project. And if you have any questions, if anything is unclear, please go ahead. Okay. So Jaya, I think that there are no questions, so we're ready to end this session.
Thank you, Myra. Thank
Welcome.
you all for joining.